Welcome to me talking about my first week on Weight Watchers. And thank God it's over. And I only have a week and 1 day left to go. I've mentioned several times on the shorts that I've been putting up that I don't like the point system. And mainly that's because I don't understand. And I can't figure out exactly why certain foods are weighted the way that they are and other foods are not. I get that their points are there to kind of supposedly steer you away from eating foods that are not necessarily good for you, which would be uber processed foods and fast food and restaurant style foods. They want you supposedly to eat whole foods. I keep saying supposedly for a reason. And that's where I start having a lot of questions and I don't understand is the weighting of certain whole foods. My example, because I eat this almost every day, if not every other day, is my rice cakes and eggs that I have for breakfast. Eggs. And eggs on Weight Watchers are 0 points, regardless of how many calories they are. I'm sure if I ate like a dozen of them in one sitting, it might rack up to a point, but certain foods, like it doesn't matter how much you eat of them, they don't give it a point value. So my eggs are, calorically, they come out to, so the eggs, when I make breakfast, they come out to 210 calories. The, rice cakes I eat are 45 calories a piece, and I usually have 2 of them. So that's like 90 calories. So altogether, that breakfast, the 2 main components of that breakfast are 200 and crap. I just did the math. So 300 calories, give or take. And I'm not counting the hummus because I don't want to do the math for anymore. But those 2 things don't make any sense to me. I get that maybe it's because the rice cakes are processed, but the number of points given to the rice cakes, I feel, is obnoxious because I think it comes out to like 3 points for the rice cakes. And that just seems like that doesn't make sense to me because the rice cakes are, well, first off, they're nutritionally void because it's puffed rice. And I don't eat them because I think they're nutritional. I eat them because they're crunchy and it's satisfying in the morning, so that kind of a thing. But the other day I had for breakfast a banana and a fruit melody from Wawa because I ran out of the house and didn't have a proper breakfast. So in Weight Watchers, most fruits and vegetables are 0 points. The banana, a very carby fruit, was 0 points. And I've had cherries a few times. And the cherries, which are probably one of the highest sugar containing fruits you can eat, were 0 points for an entire cup. And I think I could continue to eat those I could have continued to eat those all day and I wouldn't have gained any points or spent any points eating them. But the fruit cup that I got from Wawa, which contained cantaloupe, muskmelon, or honeydew, depending on where you're from, pineapple, and red grapes that I didn't eat, but they were in the mix. That came out to be 4 points. And it was a small bowl, so we're talking like maybe a cup and a half worth of fruit. Where did that come from? Why was that fruit 4 calories, but the banana, which is considerably more, I'm saying calories instead of points. A banana has more calories in it than that fruit cup did. The banana was 0 points. The fruit cup was 4. So it's not a one-to-one thing. There doesn't seem to be any relationship between calories and points, but I also can't figure out what the relationship is as far as like weighting foods. Like, why is cantaloupe and muskmelon 4 points? All I ate out of there, it doesn't matter what I ate out of there. The bowl itself was 4 points, but the banana that can be anywhere from 100 to 110 calories was 0. I could have eaten a dozen bananas and not had any points, but have eaten like 600 calories or whatever in banana. I'd be regretting that for the rest of the day, but I could do it and not spend an entire point. You know, cottage cheese is 0 points, I think, on Weight Watchers. Let me double check that. Yeah, if I eat fat-free cottage cheese, it's 0 points per serving. If I eat 4% regular cottage cheese, which is what I usually do eat, it's 4 points per serving. Same serving size. I get that it's fat-free, but eggs are 0? Do you see what I'm saying? The point system, because I can't figure out why things are weighted the way that they are, the point system doesn't make sense to me, and it confuses me, and because of that, it's a bad interaction for me with Weight Watchers. I clearly am much more comfortable counting portions and calories. That's as obvious to me, and I think everyone who's watching me at this point. My other big complaint about the points is it gamifies the diet. It gamifies the app itself. It's been well documented that humans respond very well to gamification of anything. And when you give people a certain amount of points in a day, the natural inclination is to be like, I have 22 points. I must spend 22 points. You know, that's the game. The game is 22 points. It's like handing somebody $22 and being like, you have $22 for the day, go. Yeah, the person's probably going to try to spend $22 because you're not supposed to save the points. That's not the game. The game isn't see how many points you can save in a day. It's see how many points you spend in a day. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's this, it just triggers that natural compulsion to spend those points. And if so, I'm going to, you naturally try to find ways to finagle the points and to get the most out of your points. That's the other part of it. You're trying to get the most calorie. Well, you're not trying to get the most calories, but you end up trying to get the most food that you can with those points throughout the day. It's just a natural reaction. And I'm sure if I stuck with this for like months on end, I would learn to not do that and I would eventually stop doing that. But just starting off, it's a knee-jerk reaction. And I don't think I'm the only person who has this problem. I think it's probably it's much more universal than people might think. And there's no guidance in the app on how really to use your points day to day. It tells you, things like how to use your points when you eat out at Panera. That's literally one of the things that's popped up at me. I don't eat at Panera that often because A, I'm not a huge fan of their food, and B, it's expensive, and C, it's not any better for you than any other fast food out there. Except maybe if you got just salads, which I do often. I really do like their strawberry. It's not even strawberry. I do like their fruit on a salad thing, but I'm sure that's like making it higher calorie than if I just ate a green salad because fruit has calories, that kind of a thing. But they're not really teaching you like how to make a low point meal at home or, the best ways to combine your points to get the most out of your week or that kind of a thing. It's not like that. If it is, I haven't found that part in the app, and it's not readily available to you when you're using the app. So that's my complaint with the points. It's not because, and the reason this is relevant is because I've been on it for 7 days. I started Weight Watchers at 163 pounds. And as of yesterday, I'm back down to 165 pounds, but I got up to 166. Now, I understand that weight fluctuates, and my weight will fluctuate between 3 to 5 pounds throughout a week. So it could just be natural fluctuation, but I do think it's interesting that it coincides with me gaining, or that my weight gain coincided with me starting Weight Watchers. So I'm not blaming Weight Watchers. Clearly, it's a me problem, but I don't think Weight Watchers helped the situation. I think Weight Watchers contributed, but is not the culprit, if that makes sense. So in that much, I don't like the point system, and I don't think the point system is particularly helpful, even for people who don't know how to diet, that kind of a thing. My second big issue with Weight Watchers is the app itself. It's incredibly expensive. If you pay by the month, you're paying, I think, $25 or so every month just to access the app. And, they have monthly package type deals, but it's like $108 for 3 months in a go. And then if you want to pay up front for a year, it's like $200. And that's just to access the app. And then they try to upsell you with buying their snack foods, which are super processed bullshit food, which, by the way, are only 2 points per serving. It's that kind of shit. And it's just, I think it's Weight Watchers. I didn't expect them to be an ethical, moral, actually give a crap about me and my weight loss, my health journey. I didn't expect that. It's Weight Watchers. They want to make money. They are a company. They don't care who I am. They care about what I can give them as far as monetariness goes. That's not a word, but anyway, you're following me. So, but I don't want to buy their food. It looks disgusting. I don't eat that kind of food anyway, so it's not even like I'm tempted. And I've used an app for probably the better part of 2 decades called Samsung Health. And part of that is because I use Samsung phones, but I don't think you have to pay for Samsung, the health app at all, even if you're not using a Samsung phone, because there's never been anything saying, hey, you can upcharge, if you buy a premium account, you get access to this, and something else. It never happened. I don't know if that's just Samsung, somehow missing an opportunity or what, but I've been using that app. It's completely free. And it does everything Weight Watchers app does, except it doesn't have a barcode scanner, which is just an ease of use thing. So it's not really a make or break thing, obviously. And it doesn't have an online component. So I can't log in through my computer into my account. That's a little annoying, but obviously I've gotten around it and it's not that big of a deal. So these 2 things that I would like the app to have, it doesn't have, but it's also not a deal breaker as far as the app's concerned. Everything else is exactly the same. Weight Watchers claims that if you use the app, you'll get access to daily meditations, coaching, community groups, and other benefits. The meditation thing is limited unless you pay for another completely different app to get access to the full meditation experience. So that's an upsell. And I haven't used any of the community stuff because I'm not a community kind of person, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if there wasn't some kind of upcharge there as well. Samsung Health does the exact same thing. It has very limited access to an app called Calm, which is a meditation app. I've used it in the past. It's all right. It's a meditation app. I don't know what you want from it, but to get the full experience of Calm, you have to pay for the app, Calm app. But I think you get like a discount if you go through the Samsung Health app. I don't do that because there's plenty of meditations and stuff for free online, so there's no need for me to do that. Samsung has pre-made workouts for various types of things that you want to do. You can just follow along. And then they're put together by actual human being people who film themselves doing it. Weight Watchers says they provide the same thing. I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it's not on there. I just haven't seen it. And you don't have to pay extra for it, at least through the Samsung app. As far as like one-to-one coaching, I don't know why you want that from an app anyway, but I'm sure there's some kind of thing on there that would do that for you. Again, I'm not that kind of a person, so that's just not a feature I would use. The community pages. Samsung has community groups. They have a monthly challenge that's a community challenge. It's a walking step counting challenge. They will do the workouts. They'll have like a monthly challenge or a weekly challenge that you can sign up for. And it doesn't cost anything. You just have to be like, yes, I'm going to do this challenge this month. And then you get onto the ranking board. So everything that Weight Watchers does, this free app does. And also everything Weight Watchers does, other apps that you could pay for also do, and all of them are cheaper. It's dinner, or it's second breakfast time. So I, as a person, me, myself, do not see any benefit to using Weight Watchers at all. I think it's expensive. I think it's confusing. I think the point system is non-functional, because I personally think the point system would encourage most people to overeat. And I think most people would actually gain weight, at least in their first week or two, doing Weight Watchers, if they weren't also counting their food and weighing their food, which Weight Watchers does not encourage you to do. They want you to use their app and their app alone, which is fine. But like I said, the point system is flawed and just doesn't work very well. And it's going to cause people to gain weight because your natural inclination is to gamify those points. And if you're gamifying those points, you're eating too much. And we understand how it's not exactly calories in, calories out, but it is the more calories you eat, the fatter you will get, unless you're like The Rock, which we are not. None of us are The Rock except for The Rock. Okay. So there's that. Yeah, there's even like a weight tracker, Livestrong. If you use Livestrong, this is something I wish Samsung Health would also get. You can take measurements and keep track of your measurements, which I really wish it would also do, but I keep track of that elsewhere. So it's that kind of thing. So I've been doing this for a week now. I've started curbing things and figuring out where I was going wrong. And so my weight has slowly started to come back down again. But I kind of wish I didn't do it, honestly. I kind of wish I hadn't done this. I did this on a whim just to be stupid, and I'm suffering the consequences of it. I mean, nobody wants to lose a bunch of weight and then slowly regain it again, because it's kind of disheartening. And I'm using an app that is specifically supposed to be for weight loss and weight management, and I'm gaining weight on it. So again, I don't think it's necessarily Weight Watchers' fault, because I'm the one who chews the food and swallows it. But I do feel like because of the confusing experience on there and the lack of actual guidance, there's no meal plans. There's no, hey, do this, don't do that kind of a thing. So it's very easy to screw up, basically. And I don't like that. I think that's kind of disingenuous. So there's that. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on Weight Watchers after doing it for a week. I don't want this to get too terribly long. And I'm going to continue to do it for the next for the rest of the 15 days. I'm not doing it after that, which, like I said, it's a week and a day. So, but I'm going to go back to also what was working for me, because the type of food I was eating didn't change. I've been doing the high carb Hannah thing for months now, and that's honestly contributed mostly to my weight loss. I've had to modify it. High carb Hannah doesn't like animal products at all, and she's terrified of oils and apparently flavor. So those are things that I've had to add into the food. But even with adding oil and fat and animal products back into the high carb Hannah diet, I'm still losing weight. So it's clearly not a carbs versus not carbs thing. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to go back to weighing and tracking calories again, especially this next week, because clearly I can't be trusted right now. I've gone off the rails and I must rein myself back in. So I'm going to go back to the thing that works, but I'm still going to track the points in the system. And I think that's actually going to be kind of interesting to do, only because it will show me what the relationship is somewhat between points and calories, because I know what number of calories I want to stay around for my day to day. And obviously I have a certain number of points that they want me to stay around for the day to day. So it'll be interesting to see if I'm spending more points by trying to keep to the nutritional and caloric goals that I've been sticking to, or if I'll spend less points doing that, because again, it penalizes things like red meat, but I think tuna and chicken, I think, are 0 points. So that kind of a thing. Like certain meats are verboten and certain meats are encouraged. And it's just like, it's meat. It's okay. You're not going to die because you had a steak. Okay. So that to me, I think will be an interesting metric to keep track of, but it'll also put me back on track where I want to be to continue getting down to what my goal weight is. And I don't think Weight Watchers would help me do that at all. So that's just kind of where I'm going to be for the next week, is just basically getting back on track. And then when Weight Watchers is over, I will not do it again. I don't recommend it to anyone. I don't think it's the devil and it's going to kill you, because I'm sure some people get benefit out of it. I'm sure statistically that has to be so. But I think if you're a normal average person without any kind of like metabolic problems, they're making you have to be on a special kind of diet, I don't think Weight Watchers is for you. I think everything that Weight Watchers does is something you can find for free elsewhere that's just as effective. So there's that. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on Weight Watchers. If you've made it this far, go ahead and leave a... We've done the scale and it doesn't work. You know what? Don't worry about leaving anything down in the comments section, because I can't think of anything and this wasn't a normal video anyway. But if you did make it this far, go ahead and give it a like at least, please. And if you would like, you can subscribe as well. And yeah, I might do another one of these at the end of the very, very end of everything. But I want to keep making the shorts versus making a full length video, just because like, other than me like making these points, there's really no need. It's just pictures of me eating things and maybe a shot or two of my cats. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching it this far. Please be sure to like, please, if you would like, subscribe. And if you want to leave comments, I'm here for comments. So go ahead and do that. And I will see you guys in the next one.